Yeah, Warriors, we drinking it down. Raise your voice as a stare of this town. We're the champions of craft beer sport. Tolkien audio, we hold down the fort.
What's going on, everybody? Matt Robinson here with you in the TCA studio in beautiful Bytown, Canada. Happy enough as timing seemed to work out that joined by Graeme Nichols, we're getting ready to do the Ottawa Senators season preview show as news of the Connor McDavid contract drops. We're going to talk about that a little bit first. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you making some time. I know this isn't what you thought we'd be talking about today. I don't think it's what anybody thought we'd be talking about today. It sort of felt like this might drift on a little bit, but deadlines create negotiations, I suppose. Did you think this was going to drift into the season or the off season, or is this about what you expected?
I was kind of hoping it would, just for the drama.
Sure.
Just kind of remove some of it, although I think everybody was anticipating or looking forward to possibly penciling Connor McDavid into their lineups for the 2026-27 season. So
never crossed my mind as a guy from his hometown.
Yeah.
It is 2 years times $12.5 million, so exactly what he's been making. There's been some people throwing around the numbers based on percentage of the cap, and it's the equivalent of had he signed back when he signed that initial deal at $12.5 million, of him taking about $9.5 million then. So this is about as generous as you could ask the guy to be without really pissing off the union. He's put all the pressure on the team now. He's kind of taken all the excuses away. I'm here, I'm staying, show me something with the money I just gave you.
Oh, exactly. I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think this is a player who's taken a hometown discount to afford the organization every opportunity to build around him and insulate him with more talent. I think the pressure's going to fall on the organization and Stan Bowman to put the pieces in place to do it. But as we've seen over the past several years, it's like, what is it going to take for this team to address their Achilles heel, and that's goaltending, and that hasn't happened. That simply hasn't happened. They continue to express confidence in guys who haven't gotten the job done.
In on the Connor Ingram experience, or
no? Like, does that move the needle? Like, should that move the needle? Like,
I don't think it's any
some
worse
decent
than
numbers.
What they had,
for 2 years he was good, and then last year he was awful. Like, goaltending is a volatile position, obviously, but I mean, like, I don't know. Is Jake Wallman at 7x7? Is that the answer on defense as well? Like, there's just so many question marks, and every time we talk about the Edmonton Oilers, it always kind of comes back to the same two issues. It's defense and goaltending. And do you feel more confident in this iteration of the roster than you did in the previous two? I don't know. It looks very, very eerily similar in many respects. So it's how do you insulate this talent, and are they going to be able to insulate this talent? And that ultimately is what it boils down to. So we'll see what happens throughout the course of the year.
You know, we both were hoping for the drama of the story throughout the season. You know, I think most people sort of thought all along this is taking longer than we thought, but ultimately he will end up staying. Was that where you were at, or was there a bit of surprise here for you?
Yeah, just based off of the sentiment coming out of Edmonton, I think everybody kind of anticipated a bridge deal at this point. If a deal was to be made with Edmonton, everyone expected it to be a bridge deal, and that's ultimately what happened. So it kicks the conversation for another year, but like, I was at the CTC in the Sensplex this afternoon, and the conversation kind of shifted. Like, if you're Edmonton and you don't win this year, does that just push you into a situation where it's like, okay, you have McDavid for one more year or another year, and then what do you anticipate doing? So I know, like, 2 years time, would you ever entertain the possibility of trading Connor McDavid? But that's essentially the window that he's afforded the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, and I guess that was going to be the conversation anyway, right? Like, I think a lot of his concerns seem to be around the age of the team. Now, Corey Perry is left, but Hyman's another year older. They've got some other pieces kicking around. Even Nugent Hopkins is now getting into his, mid-30s or early 30s, I suppose. But their window is right now, and they have been to the Cup final 2 years in a row, short of, winning another game or two in those finals. I don't know what else the Oilers could have shown him, right? Like, they were a well-constructed team. I don't know what my confidence level is in Stan Bowman to be the guy who, can take that money and turn it into something else that really puts them over the top. But his chance to win, like, if it's all about winning, like he says, there aren't any slam dunk options of places for him to go to next offseason that will be better than Edmonton.
Theoretically, yeah,
okay,
possibly.
Yeah.
Like, the cap is only going up, right? So It's just, there are opportunities out there. I think I'm sure you could handpick other destinations like
Vegas or
mid-tier
Florida,
teams,
like,
mid-tier teams that are coming up. But I mean, like, how much better would the Oilers look this year if they had Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg as like young players who are coming up, right? So like their farm system is relatively barren as well. So it's not like they have a ton of trade chips that they can dangle and to try and entice
Matthew
teams
Savoy kid and the Isaac, was it Harper? I can't remember the names.
Yeah,
the kids
so
they just picked up this summer. There's not a lot.
No, it's pretty barren. Obviously, I mean, you can give away as many late first round picks as you possibly can to try and capitalize on this window that McDavid's afforded you. But I think that's the predicament facing Edmonton. It's like if you're not attracting the players in free agency to come here to win during this window, then it's incumbent upon you to trade for these players that you can get to push you over the top, and that just hasn't happened.
It's going to be fascinating, man.
They're under a lot of pressure. I mean, this is the window, right? Like Draisaitl's obviously signed for a few more seasons beyond McDavid, but this is their window. This is what he's affording him. Essentially, it's just if this doesn't happen in the next 2 years, the questions are going to be huge. And
the number shocks me a bit, man. I on our Monday show, I was debating with our co-host Rob. He said, my co-host did, that McDavid, for the sake of the union, has to take more than Kaprizov. And I said, there's no way that's going to happen. McDavid can't, in good conscience, tell the Oilers, you need to show me how serious you are about winning, and then take 20% of the cap or whatever it's going to be. So I thought it would be maybe around 15, maybe even tie the Draisaitl number at staying under the Draisaitl number and just taking what you already had. That's the part that blew me away. I didn't think he was going to max out, but I'm surprised how low this is, man. It's wild.
Yeah, especially after the initial tweets from like insiders like Chris Johnson, right? Who were like, "Oh, we anticipate this being in under 15 million."
Yeah.
Nobody was kicking around the number 12 and a half. No. So
he's right. It was under 15.
There's a little bit of like, he wasn't wrong. But there's a little bit of shock factor to this as well. And he's been very patient with the Edmonton organization as is, right? Like they've been kind of trying as hard as they can, kicking the can at it, and they just, same shortcomings every year. So it's just like he's afforded them as much patience as I probably would have if I was in a similar situation as him.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. Like maybe you just looked at the landscape around the league and said, you know what? Maybe I can afford myself a year or two just to kind of take stock of all the options and decide from there where I want to go next.
That is Graeme Nichols from the Coming In Hot podcast and the Hockey News. He will be back on Thursday for our annual visit for the Ottawa Senators season preview show. Thanks for this, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Yo, can Warriors are drinking it down. Raise your voices and stare at this town. We're the champions of craft beer and sport. Tall can audio, we hold down the fort. Tall can Warriors, we're drinking